Om Shanti, Avyakt Murli, 5/4/1970. The essence of all points is to become a point. So, in this, Baba was telling about to come in Avyakt, by becoming Avyakt, to increase the power of silence. Now, Bab Dada is meeting the teacher personally. Why is tilak applied? Just as a tilak applied to forehead, in the same way, embodiment of a point is a tilak, and it should also be applied constantly. Second, the tilak of the future kingdom is also a tilak. You should have the awareness of both. The symbol of that, it is the tilak. You should have intoxication when you use this symbol. This symbol is given for all time. You were told how to stabilize yourself in the form of point. In the same way, this tilak is also a point. Do you know how to pack up and to merge? To pack up and to merge is magic. Magicians show something by packing them and something by merging them. They pack something very big into something very small. You have to learn this magic. You have to practice this. When you go into expansion, you have to make effort to merge it there. And then, whenever you see that your intellect has gone into a lot of expansion, you must practice at that moment. Am I able to merge all this expansion? Then you will become able to become close to the mark, equal to the father. The father is called magician. So what are you, the children? Embodiment of coolness in one moment and embodiment of light in the next. When you have know how to stabilize yourself in both, you will then be able to have a stable stage. Both have to be equal. This is your effort at present. Why is the flower being given? Bap Dada is giving in one birth the return of worshipping you have done for many births. Those who are unique and are much loved, if you wish to be loved, very much unique, there should be much love as there is detachment. Those who are detached and loving in this way receive support from Bap Dada. You must continue to become detached and be loved, Nyara or Pyara. If you cannot be loved by any particular soul, the reason is that you are not detached from the soul's nature and sanskar. The more you experience detachment, the more you will be loved by everyone. You do not have to make effort to be loved, but to be detached. The reward of being detached is to be loved. This is the reward of this time. Just as Baba is loved by everyone, in the same way, children have to be loved by the souls of the world. You have been told about the effort for that. There will be detachment in their activity. This flower is for becoming completely detached in the world and being lovely by the world and being loved by the world. This group is also cheerful. What has to be added to that cheerfulness now? How will you become an image that attracts? When your intellect is beyond being attracted by anything, you will then become an image that attracts. While your intellect is attracted to something, you will not be able to attract. Those who become an image that attracts becomes a subtle image. The father was an image that attracted even while subtle. The more you subtle you become, the more you will be able to attract. Just as those when those people go beyond earth into space, they go beyond the pull of the world. So when you go beyond the pull of the world, you will then become an image that attracts even against your conscious wish. Even whilst being in the corporeal form, you have to see everyone as subtle. You receive a lot of power from service. One is the power received through your effort, and the other power is received through the service of others. You receive both these powers. How do you receive Bap Dada love? Do you know? The more cooperative you become in Father task, the more love you will receive. You receive love by giving cooperation in his task. Do you have this experience? On the day when you are more cooperative than the task required, do you experience greater love? Be constantly cooperative and be constantly loved. You have to become humble and equal to the Father. You have to make such effort. There shouldn't be anything lacking in your humility or in your being equal to the Father. Then there will not be anything lacking in the regard for you. You have to recognize your regard from your equality with the Father. What will you have to become in order to grant vision of Bap Dada through yourself? With what are you able to grant vision of anything? With a mirror. So you have to make yourself into a mirror. Only when you completely surrender yourself, you become a mirror. Complete surrender is an elevated mirror in which you can receive a clear vision. If you have surrendered yourself according to your worthiness and according to your capacity, then the mirror will also be according to your worthiness and according to your capacity. Complete surrender means to surrender even the consciousness of self. What must you consider yourself? The special task of Kumaris is to grant everyone a vision of Bap Dada, not through just words, but through your faces. You have to bring about in yourself the speciality that Sakar father had. This is in special group. In the Sakar form, Baba used to say, this is the group of those who take the initiative, like Arjun, who are equal to Allah. So this group has to become equal to Allah. You have to become equal to Allah and show everyone. Just as there is a tilak sparkling on your forehead, in the same way, you have to make yourself sparkle in the world. You have to keep this aim because of you. Your being cooperative in service, Bap Dada also has special love. Together with cooperation and love, you now have to fill yourself with power. You now have to become embodiment of power. Out of all the powers, which special power does this group have to fill themselves with? Tolerance power. Those who lack tolerance power have less perfection. You especially have to adopt this power and become embodiment of power. Satisfied souls have the special virtues of fearlessness and contentment. Those who remain content and also keep others content automatically have all the virtues in them. The more you become an embodiment of power, the less the weakness will remain in front of you. So you must return having become an embodiment of power, not just a Brahma Kumari, but sometimes there is a weakness in considering yourself to be Kumari. Embodiment of power has the power to destroy. A Shakti is constantly victorious. Therefore, there are always garland of victory around the necks of Shaktis. When you forget the awareness of your being an embodiment of power, victory becomes distant. This is why you must consider yourself to be a Shakti. Children are great magicians than the father. Children are greater magicians because they can make the father into whatever they want. It is remembered that the father can make whatever he wants, but those are But who are those who can make God into whatever they want? The children. You're bringing him into corporeal, while he is in subtle would be called magic. The day of becoming subtle are close, and so you have received a lift from the subtle. You have to become equal in both, being an embodiment of knowledge and an embodiment of remembrance. You have to become an embodiment of knowledge when you wish, and you have to become embodiment of remembrance when you wish. The more you remain an embodiment of remembrance, the more you will be able to remind others of the Father. You have to become the embodiment of remembrance and remind everyone of Baba. Are you waiting for time, or is time waiting for you? Must not wait for time. You must keep yourself ever ready in such a way that the time can come at any moment. You must finish waiting and make all preparation. When you have finished making all preparation, there is no need to wait. This is called being ever ready. To be ever ready in everything, not just in service but also in effort. Ever ready in also making your sanskar close to those of Father. You have special love, and Baba is therefore talking of things that will make you special. What are the new flower and leaves on a tree like? The first one are old, but those that emerge later are very beautiful. So you have also come late, but are very much loved. The one that come later are very soft. What is there in being soft here? The softer you are, the warmer you are. If you are just soft, someone may be able to snatch you away. Together with being delicate, you must also show wonder. When there is a combination of delicate and also showing wonder, you will be able to show wonder. This entire group is the one that can show wonders. Keep such an aim that you can show any wonder. They are the older one, but the younger ones are equal to Allah. Whatever action you perform, so you will be named accordingly. If you perform elevated action, you will be given the name of elevated jewels. Elevated jewels have to perform all actions in an elevated way. Through your thoughts, words, and deeds, it is essential to be easy natured and tolerant. If you're easy natured but not tolerant, you cannot be said to be elevated. This is why you need to be easy natured and tolerant at the same time. If you become easy natured without being tolerant, then what? Then that would be counted as being too innocent. If you have tolerance as well as being easy natured, you would be called embodiment of power. Shaktis need to have both virtues of being easy natured and tolerant. In the result of present time, it is seen that sometimes you are more easy natured and sometimes you are more tolerant. Now you have to become equal in both of this. There has to be sweetness and also the form of power. You saw many pictures of goddesses, and what have you seen in them? To the extent that they are the form of intense fire, so they are cool. Their task is the volcanic form, whereas their face are of coolness. This is the final form. Acha. To the sweetest, loveliest Bap Dada. Good morning. Namaste, Baba. Namaste. Shukriya, Baba. Shukriya.